Welcome to the Get Fit Guys, quick and dirty tips to get moving and shape up. My name is Brock Armstrong, I'm the Get Fit Guy, and you know what? There are plenty, and I do mean plenty, of reasons why going for a dip is a great idea. Some reasons are more obvious than others, but today we are going to take a deeper dive into some of the more surprising benefits that you can get when you go for a swim. As you may know, I was born and raised in the cold, landlocked prairies of Canada, but I still managed to be a pretty avid swimmer for my entire life. You might actually say that I'm truly a fish out of water, unless of course you count the numerous sloughs and frozen ponds of Alberta as bodies of water. But in any case, I am grateful to my parents for having allowed me to be a bit of a pool rat when I was a kid. If you weren't so lucky, though, you can still get the benefits of swimming by getting yourself to a swimming pool ASAP. Now, a while ago, I wrote about a report that was produced by the Swimming and Health Commission called The Health and Well-Being Benefits of Swimming, which I encourage you to go back and check out, and I'll link to in the show notes for this episode. But in that study, it was estimated that those who swim for recreation or for competition are 8 times more likely to meet the general physical activity guidelines, which means that they were active for at least 150 minutes per week. The authors estimated that long-term swim training will also improve cardiorespiratory fitness or endurance in everyone, including but not limited to pregnant women, children with asthma, and adults with osteoarthritis. The study also states that any amount of swimming, when compared to those who engaged in no swimming, was associated with a 28% reduction in all-cause and a 41% reduction in cardiovascular disease-cause mortality. The evidence that swimming has significantly improved health, quality of life, and a sense of community is also quite impressive. Aside from that study, there is plenty of other evidence that going for a dip now and then is a great idea. Some of the more obvious benefits are that swimming is a full-body workout that requires you to move your entire body against the resistance of the water. Now, because of this full-body resistance, swimming elevates your heart rate, which aids in building endurance, muscle strength, and cardiovascular fitness. It can also keep you cool on a hot day. But let's look at some of the less obvious benefits of swimming, starting with number 1, swimming improves coordination, balance, and posture. When you think about your day, how much time do you spend in an upright position? Okay, now think about how much time you spend in a prone position. Now, aside from being asleep, which is not particularly an active thing, hopefully anyway, we don't spend all that much time doing activities in this very different body position. For that reason, among others, swimming is the perfect activity to challenge ourselves and build those new neuronal connections that will allow us to become more proficient at moving on completely different planes and in completely different body positions. Now moving on to number 2, swimming improves flexibility. Swimming requires that we move our bodies, mostly our limbs, through a large range of motion. This means that your joints must adjust accordingly in order to achieve good power and speed in the water. Now, we all know that maintaining flexibility and mobility as we age is important, but it also matters for you active youngsters out there too, who want to perform well and avoid injury. Which brings me to number 3, which is swimming provides low-impact movement. This benefit is especially helpful for those who are recovering from some type of injury or those who are living with limiting physical conditions. Also, due to the joint-saving lowered gravity environment that water provides, it is very helpful as a recovery workout, which leads me to the next benefit, which is number 4. Swimming is a great activity for cross-training. In my article about why cross-training is essential, I explained that if you're a runner, it's a good idea to cross-train in the weight room to build some strength and stability. Now, if you're a weightlifter, on the other hand, throwing the odd cardio session or yoga class in can be a great way to stay flexible and energetic. And if you are a human on this planet, moving as many limbs in as many directions on as many planes as you can is one of the best ways to stay healthy and fit. And there are few better ways to get all that movement in than going for a swim. And next up is number 5. Swimming helps build lung capacity and strength. Now, in a comparative study of lung functions in swimmers and runners, it was found that, and I quote, swimming exercise affects lung volume measurements as respiratory muscles, including diaphragm of swimmers, are required to develop greater pressure as a consequence of immersion in water during respiratory cycle. Meaning that even if a runner breathes just as hard as a swimmer during their workout or event, a swimmer benefits more because of the resistance of the water. You can think of it like lifting weights with your respiratory system. Okay, let's move on to number 6. Swimming alters your muscle fibers. Now, an older study examined the effect of a normal collegiate swimming program along with an intense 10-day training period. Now, during that study, they examined the peak tension, the PO, the negative log molar Ca2 plus concentration, and PC alpha force, along with maximal shortening speed, or Vmax, of the slow twitch type 1 and fast twitch type 2 fibers in the swimmer's deltoid muscles. Now, okay, without getting overly sciencey, which I kind of already did, or confusingly nerdy, which I also kind of did, in a nutshell, the effects found during the 10-day intense swimming period were similar to someone who engaged in a sprint training program or even an explosive weight training period. Pretty cool. And our final surprising benefit of swimming is swimming lowers stress. Okay, yeah. Any kind of aerobic exercise has been shown to relieve some types of stress and even some types of depression. But swimming holds a special superpower here. Let's look at it this way. When we're stressed out, our muscles get tense and tight. Tight muscles can cause other bodily reactions like headaches, back pain, and shoulder pain, which can lead to even more stress. But when we go swimming, we elongate our muscles. We stretch and relax our bodies, which then allows the tension to dissipate. Along with that, the deep and rhythmic breathing that is required during a swimming session has also been associated with bringing on what is thought of as a meditative state. Now you put those all together and you have yourself a powerful antidote for stress. Okay, you might be thinking, this sounds great, Brock, but how do I get these benefits? Well, in my old coach's notebook, I have well over 100 different swim workouts, and each one has a specific purpose and a specific goal. But there are a few things that all of those workouts have in common, and I'm going to use those commonalities to give you a swim workout right now that you can do right away, or even just spend some time working up to, if you're not an avid swimmer already. And the workout goes like this: 4 laps of front crawl, or what is called freestyle, as a warm-up. Then do 4 one-lap alternating lengths of backstroke and front crawl. Then you can rest at the wall for 30 seconds between each lap. Then move on to 4 times 1 lap of alternating lengths of breaststroke and front crawl. Then you also rest at the wall for 30 seconds in between each lap. Then move on to 4 times 1 lap alternating lengths of side stroke or butterfly if you're able to do it, and front crawl. And again, rest at the wall for 30 seconds between each lap. Then finally, 4 times 1 lap of front crawl, but this time you're going to alternate lengths of sprinting all out and lengths of swimming nice and easy. And this time you can rest at the wall for as long as it takes you to be entirely recovered between each lap, because you want to nail those sprint laps. And finally, to cool down, 2 to 4 laps of swimming nice and slow and easy, and you can choose whichever stroke you want or mix it all up. Now, here's a pro tip about swimming terminology. A length is when you swim from one end of the pool to the other, but a lap is when you swim from one end to the other and back again. And this is true whether the pool is 25 yards long, like you might find in a hotel or a small club, or if it's 150 yards long, like the pool by my house, which I actually measure in meters, and it's 137. A little harder to do the math. But anyway, that workout contains some of the swim workout essentials that will give you the benefits that I just listed. It includes a warm-up, a mixed stroke practice, some higher intensity intervals, and of course, a cool down. And as you get more and more comfortable and ambitious, I would suggest adding in some drills to also improve your swim stroke. But okay, for those of you who aren't quite avid swimmers yet, but still want to try hitting the pool, here is a sample water exercise routine that contains minimal swimming, but still gives you the benefits of hitting the pool. And that workout goes like this. Warm up by swimming 3 laps, nice and easy, using whichever stroke you feel most comfortable with. You can use freestyle, backstroke, breaststroke, butterfly, or just grab a flutter board and kick or do doggy paddle. Then move on to what is called an aqua jog for 1 lap. Now, aqua jogging is essentially running with just your head and your shoulders above the water, and you try to do this as fast as you can. Then jump out of the pool and do 10 push-ups. Then jump back into the pool and do your aqua jog again for 1 lap. Then swim 3 more laps, but a little bit harder than you did the first ones. Again, choosing whichever stroke you're most comfortable with, but I'd suggest doing a different one each time. Then rest for 30 seconds. You can do this entire sequence 3 or even 5 times. Now, after you've completed the final round, do 2 laps of easy swimming to cool yourself down. According to the CDC, swimming is the 4th most popular physical activity in the United States and is also a good way to get some enjoyable regular movement into your day, a movement that is unlike anything else that we do as a bipedal carbon-based land mammal on this planet. So why not go and give it a try? Or if you're already a swimmer, I encourage you to keep it up. I regularly get my Speedo-clad butt handed to me by swimmers who are nearly twice my age at the pool, and that serves as a great motivation for me to make sure to renew my pool membership, well, every single month. All right, thanks for listening, everybody, and make sure to tune in next week when I'm going to talk about hip strength and how we can keep our hips nice and strong and mobile. You're not going to want to miss that one. Now, Get Fit Guy is written, narrated, and produced by me, Brock Armstrong, with tons of support from the team at Quick and Dirty Tips, including Karen Hertzberg, Morgan Ratner, Michelle Margulis, Emily Miller, and Kathy Doyle. And once again, I'm going to remind you that the best way you can show your appreciation for any podcast out there is to tell somebody about it. So please tell one of your coworkers, your friends, your family members, or somebody on the bus. Just let them know about this podcast and why you like it. I'd really appreciate it. Now, my name is Brock Armstrong. I'm the Get Fit Guy. And I'm asking you, what are you waiting for? Get your butt into that pool.